Shall we play a game?
Hello! It's time to go live. Spad Tactics, hi there. Who else we got? Gav, Mark B, hello. And there's a bunch of other people watching who are lurking in the background. That's fine. Welcome. Let me make sure things are actually working okay. Looks okay. Looks like it's streaming okay. Looks like I have sound. Why are you here?
You have a head.
Why are you here?
I'm happy.
Clearly. That's my other half. She just got a job, so she's happy.
I've got a permanent job. I've always had a job.
She's also loud. Hello, Benjamin's Brain in a Jar. We're going to have a look at Cargo Line Volume 3. So, first up, rail journeys, because there's a new journey for each of the routes. Hello, bad guy. And we shall jump in here. Gav says, hello, head. And there's Cargo Line Intermodal as a new journey chapter on West Coast Mainline South, London, Euston to Milton Keynes. And it has, no great surprise, some scenarios and some services. And would be at all surprised to know I've already done some? No, it shouldn't be. I recorded this one for the Dovetail channel. It's actually quite fun, this one. It's not very hard, except for a couple of things, but it's kind of fun. But anyway, it's all good. Okay, now we'll pop out and have a look at the one for East Coast Mainline. And then we'll talk about what you guys want to see. So, Cargo Line Intermodal. And this one's got scenarios and services. No great support. There's about 20, nearly 15 hours in there, probably. There's a couple of big ones, actually. All right, we'll pop out of here again. So, new journeys. Kind of cool. Florian, hello. 26 months of fun indeed as a guard. Excellent. Quite amazing, actually. Thank you. Alrighty, now let's pop back in here. If we have a look at the routes. Hello, G Dave. We've got new timetables. Well, let's do scenarios first, I suppose. The new ones are the ones with CL in front of them, which shouldn't surprise people very much. But there's a mid portion of an intermodal service. I mean, this is pretty much Milton Keynes, almost. No, actually, it's probably not. No, it's from the middle down to East London. And then we've got London Gateway to East Midlands Gateway. I've done that one. Trafford Park to London Gateway. So cargo line services, as usual, they're not particularly directions heavy. Hello, David Smith, Seb Milesy, Para Rail. And you all got a gift membership from Kat. Alan Knight as well. Thank you, Kat. Generous as always. Kat's been one of the longest supporters of this channel in oh so many ways. Timetable. West Coast Main Line first. There's a new timetable replacing the old one. So the people who are saying, oh, the services they listed are just the same ones, not quite. There's a new timetable, and there's lots of layers in it, funnily enough. Avanti West Coast Class 390, Pendolino, or Pretendolino as they call it in Roblox. London Overground Lioness Line, so that'll be the 710, I think. London Underground Bakerloo Line, so you got overs and unders. Southern West London Line. Freight FKAs, which is one of the earliest. Freight Aggregates, so that's Cargo Line Volume 1. 2. Freight Petroleum, Volume 1. London Underground Bakerloo Line Sleet. Class 710 test runs, which are only in January and May, apparently. Aggregates in HKAs. The intermodal FCAs, that's the new ones. And... ooh. That's an interesting layer, isn't it? I didn't actually notice that before. Freight Nuclear. I think they've leaked something in their release. Interesting. Interesting. What do you think of that? I hadn't noticed that before. Okay. Well, at least the leak's not my fault. I didn't do it. I'm running the software they told me to run. It's fine. So if we have a look at the intermodal ones, and we want Cargo Line Intermodals 66, or you can run pretty much any of the others. They will work. And I've noticed the others sub in too on AI, so you get a good variety of 66s. And there's rather a lot of services. Now, did these exist in the other timetable? To be honest with you, I haven't looked. But there's quite a few, and there's short ones, medium ones, longer ones. So there's plenty of stuff to play with intermodal. There's lots of gameplay here. Whether they're new services or not, to me, doesn't matter so much because it's new gameplay, because it's the FCAs and some others. So I guess this is the light loco by the looks of it. All right, so let's go ahead and have a look at East Coast Main Line. Chocky Transport says, am I allowed to share that? Well, I don't know. Can't stop you now, it's public. Let's have a look at East Coast Main Line, because we've just looked at West Coast Main Line, Peterborough to Doncaster, and timetable. Let me give them just a brief warning that that's in there. So let me go back to that. There you go, you can get your screenshots now anyway. Let me just grab my own screenshot while you're grabbing your screenshots. Because, you know, I'm just going to pop this into the Discord, so the Ambassador Discord, and go, oi, this is in there. It's not my fault. There be a leak in the layers of Cargo Line. Look at the last one. Anyway, too late now. All good. Let's get out of here. We were never here. We're going to go look at East Coast Main Line now, like we said. Okay, choose a route. East Coast Main Line. I genuinely didn't actually notice that before when I flicked through it, so it'll be in my other video that's going live right about now. In this one, we have scenarios as well, and there's 3, of course. Felixstowe North to Leeds Terminal, Intermodal. Oh, that got a reaction on the Ambassador Discord server. Tinsley Yard to Ripple Lane, Felixstowe to Masborough. Well, there you go. And that's a massive one. 4 out of 5 difficulty and 2 hours long on a route that short. That's impressive. How do you make it 2 hours long? Maybe we should play that one. I'm curious. G. Dave says, wasn't there a DRS Class 20 teaser at Christmas times? Bad Tactics says that's the Class 20 DRS then. There was a shape with a bracket, and much of the community did compare that to the DRS Class 20, yes. So, East Coast Main Line also gets a Cargo Line thing. What leak will we get in this one? Layers. I thought it wasn't going to work then, I got worried. Midland Main Line HSTs, Thameslink 700s, Midland Main Lines 158s and 700s. Northern 323. Ah, the 323's galloping around. Good to see. I like the 323s. The LNER IC 225, Class 801. Trans-Pennine Express 801s, Hull Trains 801s, London Midland 801s. I assume these are just representative, and they're all just the 801. Because I don't think we have most of these liveries. The Grand Central 801. So they're probably placeholders when someone does real liveries, I suppose. Flying Scotsman in January and February. Probably a rail tour, most likely. Flying Scotsman in March and April. Probably another rail tour. Flying Scotsman May and June. Probably another rail tour. July and August. Why don't they just do it every month? Surely. That'd be easier, wouldn't it? September, October, November. They have done every month. Cargo Line Intermodal FCA, that's ours. Railhead Treatment Trains. Southeastern High-Speed J&As. Tees Valley BBAs. West Summers, that's like a robot. What was that, BB2? BBA? Whatever it was. West Somerset Railway from the Class 47 by the looks. HKA from Great Western Express. PGAs from Tees Valley. Cargo Line TEA. Spirit of Steam for the Jubilee. We've got some HST stuff. Looks like many months of HSTs as well. More HSTs. Doncaster Static FKAs, not owned. I own everything. Clearly, I don't. Something else is coming, I think. HSTs. 465s, some more FKAs. So that's probably Cargo Line Volume 4, I'd be guessing. Because aren't they flat wagons? FKAs are flat wagons, aren't they? Doncaster more statics, 47s, 166 from Great Western Express. There's another FKA that I don't own. HSTs, HKAs, more HSTs. So much static stock around the place. Now, this is good to have all the static stock as layers, because if you're on a poorly equipped machine, like maybe a Gen 8 console, you can just turn them all off. And you'll see all the moving stuff, but you won't see the other things. 323 from Training Centre. Well, that's interesting. That'll be the grey one. And Cargo Line Aggregates, of course. All right, let's jump out of there. We looked at the, and this one's not the EWS, it's actually the DBC Cargo Line International. Excuse me, let me get a lozenge before I cough you all to death. I know I whine about it all the time, but it's a long COVID thing that I get to cough probably for the rest of my life. Doctor said 10 weeks, that's well and truly over now. But anyway, that's fun. Everybody's getting used to it. Mostly me. So we have a whole bunch of services for FCAs, FKAs, more FCAs, HOAs, TEAs. So there's lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of freight services. So I suppose if I turned the layers off to be just the Cargo Line ones, there'd be less, wouldn't there? Okay. Now, what are we going to do? Are we going to do a scenario? Or are we going to do a timetable? Choose wisely. Meanwhile, I'll keep watching the chat. So G. of Dave says, isn't Cargo Line 4 military? Yes, I believe so. So we have a 5 on the way as well. Spad Tactics says Cargo Line 4 nuclear. Called it. Nuclear is military. They've already announced that. Sorry, Cargo Line 4 is military. Chocky says no, the other one only had FKAs and HKAs. Spadtastics meant 5. Hello, UK Tag 2. We've talked about the DRS, Dungeness. So Benjamin wants to do a scenario. Chocky Transport wants to know what the 47 and 52 do. Oh, have a look. What's the 52 do? Let's take the red one. One service, TEA. And it won't be different with this one. No, it's not. So it's an oil service on the 52. And is there a 47? Yes, there is. 47.4. We could pick any of them. Why don't we take the West Somerset Railway 47. So there's 2 services for those. TEA, and that one's a light engine. Benjamin's brain in a jar wants to do a scenario. He's the only one that said anything, so I guess he wins. All right then. Let's have a look at the scenarios. And do we do an East Coast or a West Coast? Choose wisely. East Coast main line or West Coast main line? Don't worry, I'll wait. I have to wait. I don't get a choice because I'm 20 seconds, sorry, in front of you guys. I'm still watching the ambassador chat here. Interesting. Interesting. West Coast main line, East Coast main line, 2 for West Coast, 3, 4 for West Coast, 5 for West Coast, 2 for East Coast, 3 for East, 4 for East. Florian says outnumbered. It does look like West Coast. And Chalky wants to check the West Coast timetable. So we'll let people keep popping in and we'll just check the West Coast main line timetable. Now, what did you want to see? If there's a Dungeness service. It'd be a 66, wouldn't it? Dungeness. Nah. Not in those ones anyway. So it's looking like about half and half, to be honest. East or west. It's looking pretty close to half and half. So I think I might have to flip a coin. Might have to flip a coin. Here we go. Isn't the Dungeness a crab? Yep, I almost lost it. I did lose it. Let's try again. Heads, it'll be West Coast, by the way. And it is... Actually, it's bloody hard to tell on this guide. But, you know, how useless this is. Look. Heads on that side. Heads on that side. Useless coin. All right. There we go. It's a platypus, but not the queen. So that's it. That would be East Coast. So back we go to East Coast. We'll do that first. And we'll do a service and we'll come back and do West Coast. That sounds fine to me. Scenarios. And we'll do a short one to start with. Intermodal service from the Suffolk Container Port to a distribution terminal in Leeds. Now, I'd love to tell you that you load and unload containers, but you don't, so I won't. Are you allowed to say what the coin will be for this one? Well, it's got a queen on one side. What else could it be? Welcome 4E30. You know what I should do? Is turn on... Let me get out of here. That one. Because I should turn on... that. Oh. There it goes. Rail driver. Because it works now, because I'm running a mod. We are in train. Brakes are cut out by the looks of it. Or are they cut in? That probably means they're cut in, doesn't it? Let's just check. Brakes are cut in. Yep, good. Okay. Let's put our reverser in. Forwards. Ah, yes, safety systems on by default. Windscreen wipers. Check the train to ensure it's ready. We'll do that in a minute. Alright, we've got a red signal in front of us. We don't have a DRA, do we? No. So let's just fly down the outside. Whee! It's a whopper. I'm about to get hit in the face by an Azuma. We got a red light on the back. Lovely. It's kind of a yellow light, but that's okay. We'll let someone else worry about that. Let's try and get... We are set up for goods brakes. So why isn't that working with Rail Driver? Oh, I know why. I'm a donkey. Right. I have to start the mod. There we go. You didn't see what I just did, but now it'll work. Watch. Whee! See? You have to run this external program for this mod. How soon till we're allowed to go? Instrument lights, but we can't really see anything because, you know, it's dark. Light. One or the other. We'll just sit here on the independent brake. Everything else looks ready. We don't have a train length in, so what's our train length? Doesn't say. Train length on here? 673.9, so we'll put in 674. 1. 6, 7, 4, enter. Did that do it? No. 6, 7, 4, enter. There we go. Lovely. We have train length now. And we are just got a yellow signal, so away we go. Let's build a little bit of power up. We will be gentle to the knuckle couplers. Do you know what would really help to build power? That. Good start. No, don't roll backwards. Oh, after all that. There's a signal right behind me. I rolled back half a foot. Oh, no. Oh, the price. I don't actually know if they've told us, to be honest, but it's not very... Oh, yeah, they did. It's not very expensive, though. Let's do all that again, shall we? Independent brake on. Release the train brake. Get that pumping up. Headlights stay running. Wipers. The cargo line price was not that much. Let me just look it up. Cargo Line 3. You should be able to Google it. Price. Well, very helpful from the AI response, which says $8,999. That's pretty good. There it is. Where's the actual price? Price. That's 2. Come on, I know it's in this bloody article somewhere. Blah, 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 blah. Lots of blah, blah, blahs in the article. Yes. Stuff. More stuff. There we go. There we go. There's the pricing. Actually, I'll put the whole lot in the thing. Releases on the 1st of May in the UK. Not Australia. 2nd of May in Australia. Hello, Joe. How are you? There we go. There's all your pricing and stuff. Did you see me mess it up, Joe? The world wants to know. Did you see me screw it up? So don't roll backwards. That would be a bad thing. Bob's Railway Madness. Have you turned the safety systems on? They are already on in these scenarios. You can turn them off, but they start on. Gav's Photography says, lol, spad. Matt would be proud. Florian says, emotional damage. Oh, I've got to put the train length in again too, don't I? 6. It's not doing it, is it? Come on. I'll press enter. 6, 7, 4, enter. Right, there we go. Yes, the train length thing does work. 30 wagons, 1940 tons. You're permitted to continue at 75 miles per hour. All right, let's build some power up. Brakes off. Don't roll backwards. If you roll backwards, I'm going to break you again. There we go. And of course, you know, we have that problem. It's a bit endemic on some routes. Bad Guy says, does the train length computer thingy at the top of the train actually do anything? It's just there for the show in game. Yes, it does something. If you have your train length set and you push your button, It should start counting down. There it goes. Do I have to press it again to make it count down? Probably. I think you do press it twice. There we go. It's counting down now. When it gets to 0, you know your back of the train's past that point. Oh no, a neutral zone. Whatever will we do? Oh, hang on, we're a diesel. Let's start ramping this beast up. As our lights go on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. That's what happens when you get a TOD 4 loco and a TOD 3 route. So on East Coast mainline, that won't happen. Now, I would have loved it if the containers were branded. I would really like that. But we have got lots of random colours, which I appreciate. We've got lots and lots of boxes. We have wagons without boxes, which I also appreciate. It's interesting they're in the middle of the train, though, because that gives you a bit of a problem on corners. Normally they'd be at the back. Like it says, we're cleared to do 75 mile an hour, but the speed limit's 40. Hey! Pretty hefty train for a 66, which is of course an old SD40, in disguise as a shed. They took the SD40, pulled the top off, and dropped a shed on top of it. I love the... Oh, it's the insulator. V for Viti popping in gift memberships. Magnificent, V. We'll see how many more members turned up now. Bad Guy, Amy, Cameron Dempsey, MCFC 1894, Felix Song, and V for Viti got a gift membership for himself. That's excellent. Thank you very much, V. Highly appreciated. Florian says, hello to Joe. How does the pack perform on PS5? Does it give any problems considering both routes have full timetables to begin with? Since they're replacement timetables, I wouldn't expect any issues. I'll try my Xbox key on the 2nd, because I don't think it'll work before that. 2nd for me, that is. We are up to 75 now, as we wander off down to Doncaster. There's a suburb called Doncaster here in Australia. It's one of the immigration suburbs. So the immigrations usually start on the western side of the city, they work their way around to Doncaster, and each group sort of follows them. It's changed a little bit lately, with a couple of other suburbs becoming prevalent and Doncaster missing out. I should take my security keys off there before someone records the numbers on the video. We're up to an earth-shattering 46 miles an hour currently. Spad Tactics is a day later for us this time. For Aussies, it's always a day after the release day because the release day is in UK time and we are one day ahead. So on Steam, it'll be out at about 3 AM on the 2nd, generally. I'm curious, do the gates work? It's been a long time since I've been on this route. Ooh, they do. The cars cross? Yes. Wow. Back to the train. I was trying to coax Adam from Skyhook into being on the stream. It's a little push. Didn't quite get there. But he's interested in doing a collab at some point, just not tonight. Why have a horn if you can't wake the neighbours up? So where are we going? Doncaster. Ah, down the end. Fair enough. We're going into the big yard by the looks of things. That should be fun. Bob's Railway Madness says, I mostly see Freightliner 66 on the East Coast mainline with intermodals. DB mostly haul what I call trash trains that stink to high heaven. That's in the Doncaster area though, never really been south of there. I'm betting they haven't got any of those in which city is it? Which one is not getting any rubbish collected at the moment? Bad Guy says Adam is an awesome dude. Actually, guy's super nice. He used to work for Dovetail. He did. He led the preservation crew when it still existed and got a role at Skyhook, where he manages their community and does streams and does all those sorts of things. And he is definitely a good guy. Yes, I twirled the mouse the wrong way then. Birmingham, that's the one. Remind me not to put that on my holiday plan. It might be just a little bit smelly. Isn't Birmingham the council that went bankrupt as well because it spent too much on Oracle? I'm sure that was Birmingham. If you ever get a chance to not buy from Oracle, take it. I speak from personal experience. If you have a choice between anything else and Oracle. Yep. The Zuma. I always find it weird doing the cargo pack streams because there's no route to show off. There's no interesting spots to go and have a look at or anything like that. The preservation crew got rolled into the main development team, and the main development team does actually take care of the migration tasks from version to version, and they take care of, which a lot of it's automated now, and they take care of the older bugs as well. You may have noticed in the patch that came out just prior to this that a lot of the bugs have been addressed now. There's quite a few from older routes, which is good to see some of those coming up. It's sad that they took so long, but it's good that they're happening. I actually remember Adam saying that he'd fixed some of those bugs quite a long time ago, and they've taken this long to find their way out. I am noticing that the LOD on the little stickers on the back, let's see when it comes back. There it is, and gone. And comes back, and gone. So the LODs aren't quite right on the stickers on the back there. That's at 3250, so I'll just I'll pop in a feedback about that. Because you know me, if I see something weird, I'll tell you. What long-standing thing would you like to see fixed? And I'd better start slowing down because this route's dead flat. And we have attained light speed. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, being naughty. No more platinum for me. Oh, and then we can do 110. So it's 60 for the corner, I suppose, that I'm about to come flying into way too fast and end up on my side, but that won't be a problem at all, will it? No. Chocky said you even got your out-of-bounds bug patched. There's a few of those that have been fixed, which is good. Spad Tactics says no passengers on ECS and stabled trains. Yes. Yes. That's annoying. Very annoying. Tree Sim World. Stretch the train back out again now. I am this close to being allowed to apply for driver training on my railway. I have to have 50 steam firing shifts, and I've got 46. I'm trying to get 4 more by the end of the month. It'd be very nice to see some passenger updates, I have to suggest. That would be delightful. Oh, I know which version of the 66 this is. This is the one with the shadowy needles. See, the ones that just hang around? The shadows don't move with the needles. I remember this one. It does sound nice at least, though. I'd better put some power on since we're going uphill. What else do you want to see about the boxes? We have boxes. You need to keep an eye out for Amazon parcel thieves, of course, now. Oh, hang on. No, we're not in Los Angeles. That'll be fine. I don't know if any of you have watched the surveillance videos. Ooh, that looks like a yellow signal coming up. I'd better be in the cab for that. It really is a yellow signal too. Oh, no, it's gone green. I don't know how many of you watch those videos of the parcel thieves ripping off the trains. But it's very interesting. There's such a wide segment of the community involved in it. It's literally everybody. Doesn't matter what culture, race, background, whatever. They're just all there piling in. It's bizarre. Florian says there's a crash on Hamburg-Lübeck near Rheinfield when driving towards Hamburg. It happens quite a lot on PS5. Happened since TSW3. That's sad. I don't think I've noticed that on PC, so I wonder if that's PlayStation only. Kat says, aren't you lucky that your wife is in a good mood if you have to drive so much? I haven't told her. Just saying. Bad guy says only in the USA. USA. TSD says, what kind of backlight does the gauge cluster have? The brake gauge, when it's in the dark, glows blue, but I don't think you can see it at this time. It's just too bright. But the brake gauge glows blue, and the others are a nice dull glow. 4.7 miles to go. Let's watch the train go by again. And let's watch the thing freeze while the train goes by again, of course. Transport would like to make the containers Livery Designer compatible. Do you know, at the end of this, why don't we have a look and see if they are? Because I don't actually know if they are or not. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? That would open the door for so many out-of-memory errors. If you put a livery on every container. Man, imagine what had happened. Your memory usage would go whoop. Spad Tactics is nice. They're the LED ones. I'm sold. Very cool. Three miles to the wilds of Doncaster. Famous for octopus. Apparently. No, don't fall off, octopus. I use that with my work, because my day job, as distinct from my railway career, my day job's actually in IT, and I'm an architect. And I often bring the octopus of complexity to meetings, because it really gets the point across to our business people when I start talking about the complexity that they're impacting when they want to make a change, and why it's going to be very, 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 very expensive. What have we got coming up? I do like Skyhook's scenarios. Oops, back to 60. And we've got yellows. Better get up the front, because we've got real yellows, I think. we'll give it just a light brake until we see. I do like Skyhook scenarios. They take care of static stuff to look at. They take care of moving stuff. Lots of scenarios are a bit dead. They might be a bit creative around the train driving experience, but otherwise they're a bit dead. Whereas Skyhooks tend to mostly leave the train driving to you. There's not a lot of do this, do this, do this, do this, which I appreciate. I know that's not as good for newer players, but it is good for the seasoned ones. Alright, let's release that all the way. Because that'll keep slowing us down anyway for a while. Clearly I haven't preloaded this route. Bad Guy says, maybe you missed my question the first time, so I'll repost. Do you have a link to Adam's streaming page, do you? The Skyhook one or Adam's? I'd have to go find it. I have watched it. You're on my Discord, aren't you? I'll try and find it. Chocky says you can only customize the unloaded wagon. Ah, have you already tried? While I'm reluctant to power towards a red, I will. Because the brakes are still charging. As you can see on the airflow indicator down here, because there's still flow happening, we are actually still charging up the brake pipe, which means the carriages at the back are still actually braking right now. I think I see another 66 with another load of boxes coming on the right-hand side there. Chucky's done that one. Bob says those parcel thieves are dancing with death if they're stealing from moving trains. It will be a very bad outcome. I'm surprised it hasn't happened already. Benjamin says, so is the general consensus that Rivet are no longer on route building duties? Look, I have a faint suspicion that might be the case, so they're not building any of their own, but they do development for other companies as resources. So my bet is they're still out there building stuff, but I just get the impression they're not building their own anymore. They've shuttered their forums, they've shuttered their store. That sort of speaks as a company that's a little bit sick of the bullying, and they want to protect their staff. Because cyberbullying is a very real thing, and it doesn't matter whether you're cyberbullying a company, you're going to make all those devs feel like shit. I don't mean you as in you're, as in you actually you, I mean it's just in general. There's another conveniently placed shed, and you'll notice the other 66s do sub in, so you will see plenty of others. I saw DRS on one when I was trying it out last night. We're on freight timings. You can just see goods is slightly lighter than pass. So we are on good brake timings. Bad Guy said, Adams, I think I have the Skyhook when I didn't even know Adam streamed. Yeah, he does. I don't think he does it all that often, though. Games Photography says, you know when Adam's done a gameplay pack or a route, it's all full of stock. Yes. I think I actually see this red signal now, so I should probably stop. I'll just do a light application, though. It should be enough to pull us up, I think, at this speed. It's on freight brake timings, GE Dave. You can just see that the goods light is slightly lighter than the pass light. The red signal's all the way down there. Oh, it's got a feather on it too, and it's just gone yellow. Off we go then. Nice and gentle because, as before, we're still charging up the train pipe. So we're pulling against brakes on the back now. That's when you have to be a little bit careful, because if we look outside, because there's brakes going on the back, this one will be under the most stress of all of them in the entire train because we're pulling on the back. Hey, this is something I'd love to see. I'd love to see the Lincoln pin couplers actually turn up in the hook. That'd be grouse. It's not that hard, is it? One day. One day. We seem to have cargo line aggregates to our left there. Not those ones. Those ones. Are there any tankers in the audience? Any tanks for the memories? No, they resisted the temptation to put tanks in by the looks of it. That's going to be the title of my video for the military one, making the brash assumption there's tanks on the carriages. It'll be tanks for the memories. I think it's necessary. You may have noticed my rail driver is not jumping around all over the place. That is because I am running a thing. And that thing, if it'll pick it up, I'm not sure if it actually will. No, it won't actually show it to us, I don't think. No? There it is. Got it. This is the mod. I'm just going to watch that signal. This is the mod for the TSW rail driver and joystick interface by Cobra. And it's a good thing. It takes away all of the shitty things that rail driver is known for. Like going on the levers. It's magnificent. So you know me, I generally don't run mods when I'm streaming. But this one, oh, it just makes this thing so good. Makes me happy to use it again. Another Azuma. It's very expensive to ride on those. I got one in the UK because I had to. As in, had to. Not had to do one of those. I could have taken a different train for half the price, but I had to, if you get what I mean. It needed to be done. I wanted to ride a Javelin, a Pendolino, and an Azuma. So I did. I also got a surprise ride on an HST when I rocked up for my train, and it turned out to not be what they said it was going to be, and it was an HST. So, cool. The only thing I didn't ride was a 150. I did ride a 153. At this point, I've got a general intention to get back to the UK in August again, and I keep pestering poor Alex. I'm sure he's getting sick of me to get a confirmation if an ambassador event's going to be on and what the rough timing will be so I can pay airfares. And I wish I'd know this week, because I mean, I'm almost tempted just to book the entire month of August and go there on the first day and leave on the last day. But knowing my luck, if I do that, they'll put on an event in July or September. That would be my luck. Life. Lots of stuff sitting in the yards, which is always appreciated. I like these little four-wheel things. I didn't actually realise there was any four-wheel rolling stock still in use in the UK, but clearly there is. UK people call these, by the way. I know Americans call them gondolas. I've heard people call them high-sided flat cars. On our railway, we just call them NQRs, because that's what they are. I'm guessing that's the red signal we're supposed to stop at down there. Oh no, it's gone green. Good-o. More shunting. Let's put a bit of power on that. Benjamin says, shame it came to that. Yes. G. Dave says, Freightliner should be on pass brake timings. Why is that, G. Dave? I don't doubt you, but I'm curious. Bob's Arrive Madness says we need the Class 70 for some intermodal trains. I made the suggestion for it along with some British freight locomotives. The Class 70 is way more powerful than 66. Does the 70 run all over the entire country? Because I think that's the only way they'd build one. Chalky Transport says whoever says it's just substitutions, they couldn't be more wrong. It's whole 2 timetables. That is correct. There are 2 new timetables. I've never been down this part of this route, to be honest. That is something else that Adam likes to do, is use bits of routes that you didn't know you could even get to. Always good. Florian says, I'm looking forward to the military pack, and I'm intrigued to see which routes it will add gameplay to. Will be interesting, I'm sure. I think it'll be cool. Something different to see sitting around in yards. It's always good to see some visual differences. They make the game more interesting. Some would call it immersive. I call it interesting. It's a 25 sign, and I'm pretty sure that's slightly buried in a brick wall. Indeed. Oh, that's why it's only 15, you see. They cut half the 2 off, so it's 15, not 25. Who, me? Benjamin says, will you make it to Didcot this time? I hope to, because Didcot's one of the ones I didn't get to. I'd also like to get to 7 Valley, which I didn't get to last time. I'd like to get to Jamie's Railway, which is the one I've forgotten its name again, but I've got a list somewhere of the places I want to go to. There's also the little tiny railway, the one with little tiny trains. I want to go on that. That looks like fun. It's got a really long name, but a little tiny railway. Bad Guy says, don't forget we have to dump every single photo onto Matt's desk. I think what we should all start doing is taking photos of toilets. And we'll send them all over there. Every railway toilet we can think of. The 66 is actually limited to 75 miles an hour, so you don't have to worry about going faster than 75. Did I just overbrake myself? I believe I did. Alright then. And now, of course, it's raining. That's another Adam thing. Rains when it's time to shunt. Chocky says there are JNA hoppers. There we go. You call them hoppers. Fantastic. G Dave says, oh, we've done that one. Spad Tactics, Florian. Could those be the mysterious FKA layers that TSD didn't own? I think that's quite possibly the case, is that they're actually the military ones. I'm just going to pop back to the Discord and see if there's been any further reaction. No further reaction. That's okay. Here's our little signal just up ahead. We'll cut the juice off. G Dave says pass brake setting means quicker release. Cool. That might not be what you want on a heavy goods train, though. We've got a couple of other 66 logos over there, which we have the DRS, nice blue one, and of course the O&E pink one that just screams, I am Matt Pedalston. What? That should get us close enough to end a scenario, I think. Maybe? No, it's going to punish me. Fair. We'll just be like those people complaining the Colin Arkin timetable's only on Steam. They pull harder. I was never here. North Norfolk, that's the one. I should write that down. Because I want to meet Jamie there. And I want him to get me to take me around the railway and introduce me, because there is no better way to see a heritage railway than with someone who works there. We're going to have to get this down to 0 yards, aren't we? Just because it'll be annoying. You know what? Oh, nah, missed it. There we go. So if we just go back to... Isn't there a return to free roam? No, there isn't. Oh well. That's fine. All right. Well, that's that one. So let's do a West Coast mainline one now. What? Oh, we're going to check livery designer, won't we? Let's have a quick look at livery designer. These are FCAs, I think, from memory. Something like that. Yeah, FCAs. That's right. So if we go into Creators Club, livery designer, FCA, add new. Yes, only empties. There's only one. All right, well, that answers that question. You can't paint the containers. But, can you paint other containers in here? That'd be an interesting question, wouldn't it? What if we search for container? No. Box? No. Let's just scroll through and see if they're in here. I don't have anything loaded that you guys shouldn't see, I'm pretty sure. No. So it doesn't look like the containers are actually here, does it? What is that? Oh, the 483 hasn't got a picture. Isn't that sad? That's the Isle of Wight train. No, it doesn't look like the containers are in here, sadly. That would be cool. Never mind. All right, we go back out of here. Let's make sure they work in Formation Designer. So let's add a new one. Ignore my formations. I have silly things. Clearly, it's obviously porn because it says XXX. Add official. FCA. So there's the empty twin. And we'll add another one. We should have the loaded twin as well. Loaded. There we go. They're in there. Cool. So they can be used. That's good. Let's jump out of there. Transport East Anglia says, wait, North Norfolk Railway is my local railway. Are you secretly Jamie? I don't think so. Do you know Jamie? There you go. You live near it. Should. To the trains. Let's go to West Coast Main Line. Service or scenario. Not that one. The other West Coast Main Line. Start with the service. And we'll get into a short service where you decide if you want to see a scenario as well. I bet something... I will do one nighttime one. Why not? That way you can get to see the gauge lights. Chucky says there's more than one railway with small trains and a long name. Yeah. Reverser. Forwards. Gauge lights. Night lights. Proper lights. Lovely. And brake release. It'll be a little while that pumps up anyways. We'll put on one notch just to start stretching things. How long is our train? It is 623.7, so we'll say 624. Go 1, enter, 6, 2, 4, enter. This must be a light engine. Oh no. Oh, it's a Cargo Line Volume 1. Or was it 2? 2 was aggregates. How about that? I didn't even get the right kind of cargo line. Never mind. Just pretend they're containers. Amy says, thanks for the gifted sub. I wasn't even watching. You were not meant to admit that. Transport says, next time I'm there, I'll try and find him. So it's got proper headlights at least. Prepare for the machine that says nothing, apparently. That ramp clearly doesn't work. Oh, it's a service. They're not on by themselves, are they? That one? That one. Am I being naughty? Clearly I am. Wow, I've never been through the tunnel before. Amy says, well, the good news, it got you to watch. That's fair. It says, you are yellow. See if we can break our couplers while we're waiting. If only the game did that, huh? It actually has got coupler physics. Be a step more to make it break them sometimes. That'd be cool. Trocky wants to know, where am I? Brent Receptions. On the West Coast main line. Adam does love finding a siding that no one else uses. So should we run a scenario on this route or a service? I only ran this one while you were deciding. Hey, look, I've got train bounce turned on. Ooh, sorry. Didn't mean to have the music on. That must have been really annoying listening to that over and over and over. Unless you like it. When I like it. It's cool. The music I use on this channel is composed by a friend of mine, Hannah Silva, who runs a small business teaching people music and composing music. And it's cool to support her. Bob's Railway Madness is currently driving 6M42 on the Midland main line. I can just see a shunting signal, which is so bright it actually glared through the pole. Perfect. I'm not bothering to show you what's on the back because, you know, they're not containers. Not sure if we're doing a service or a scenario next. Uh-oh, too fast. We'll pretend it's okay. Arm brakes, do your thing. I think they're doing something. Yeah, they are. It's fine. We'll just pretend we're not driving 5 miles over the speed limit. It's fine. Sounds like we're going to do a scenario then, doesn't it? What time is it? 8 o'clock. We could fit in a scenario. I won't do the one I've done, but I recommend it. I like it. It's got some nice weather changes in it. So this is the previous container system, isn't it? It'd be cool to see some of these sprinkled in. We'll just ignore the things on the back because they're not containers. It's the other cargo line. So we'll finish this one up because I'm pretty sure there's finish here. No, there's stuff to do. So we'll jump out of this one and we'll go back and run one that's got containers in it. Because, you know, that's what you came here for. You came here to watch containers, not just watch a 66 crawl through a freight yard in the dark. Spin, spin, spin goes the wheel of doom. If that was bigger, it would be mesmerizing. Back in here, let's do a scenario. Cargo Line says the 40-minute one, which is second hardest. And there's that one, which is very light on, but it's an hour. So it's the mid portion from Manchester heading for the container port in East London. But of course, you don't quite get there because the route doesn't go there. Why don't we run this one? Because we can. Seems fair. Just let that happen. Spad Tactic says they are technically containers, just not containers. That is true. I suppose everything on a railway is a container in one way or another. Currently looped outside Watford to allow traffic to pass. We should be moving again shortly, and we do indeed have containers. Looks like this is the train that's coming to pass us, so we'll start getting our cab ready, I think. Let's get the brakes releasing completely. And we'll apply the locomotive brake. Probably day running for the headlights. Wipers off would be good. And instrument lights. What is our train length? It is 630.5. Enter 630. That'll do. Should have put in 631, but it'll do. That's fine. There's double security here. Look at this. Little 350. I don't think that's what we're waiting for, though. Might be. But you've got the loop that'll stop you when you spad. And if that doesn't stop you, you're going to fly off here and you're going to terminate the bridge and probably fall down there. This is not a good look. Not really. Not a good look. This is the joys of railways. Hurry up and wait. Gee, Dave says we only carry freight, just that some of it is self-loading. Yes, cows, sheep and people. Check the train to ensure it's ready. Yeah, it's pretty ready. Traffic is approaching London. I think that has gone yellow. Many Gretas pouring out of the stack there. Good to see. Almost as many Gretas as a steam engine. Weirdly, I'm not on this weekend, but I keep watching the roster. Pendolino. I haven't checked the roster. Yeah, OBS says it disconnected and reconnected. You may have a little pause in the stream in about 10 seconds. We'll see. It lost connectivity briefly. Driver, fireman and engine cleaner. May 2025. Has anybody dropped out for this weekend yet? Saturday, Sunday. No, no one has. That's a bummer. I want to give a nice low angle, thanks, game. As we gradually get rolling. I wonder what passengers would think if they were described as freight, because of course if they were freight, you'd want to weigh them all and measure them all and fit as many as you could into the wagon. That would be kind of funny. Can't you imagine the newspaper headlines?
He weighed me.
I got really upset. Be free with me says, will this show up in freight traffic when I'm using passenger services? Yes, it will in the new timetable. I believe they'll also sub in on the old timetable for some of the services there. Oops. I'm being naughty. That's not like me at all. So yes, it will show up, be free with me, if you're running the intermodal timetable. Super bright on this route. At this time of the day, 4:30, it's very bright. I heard it's going to be 24 degrees Celsius in the UK today. People might actually melt. Double yellow, and allowed to speed up. But we're still following that 350 clearly, which will stop at every station. I wonder what speed we can average if he's out in front of us. So how far ahead is it? There's the 350 stopped in the next station, so it's yep, we're just following him. But I should be able to go a little bit faster because he'll go faster between the stations. I'll pop back and I'll show you the timetable again when we finish this one. Be free with me. And if you like, we can run a passenger service and see what shows up. I'm happy to do that. If that's what people would like to do. There we go. Container, 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 container. I'll stop now. It's probably very annoying. Like me. It's an interesting pattern on the soot, how it builds up and just stops. It's a bit weird. But anyway. Has that train left the next station yet? Yep, it has. Heading off down the line, which is good. Let's pop up another notch then. Be free with me says such a beautiful today. I'm on the Isle of Wight and they think it's going up to 27 degrees. Well, that's impressive. Maverick says I can't stick around, but glad I caught you. Hello, Maverick. How are you? How is everybody, in fact? G. Dave says lorry is showing 22.5 in the shade. That's a nice pleasant time. Nice pleasant temperature. One of the people on my Discord asked me how I handle steam engines in summer, and I pointed out that the fire is 1200 degrees Celsius year round, so it doesn't actually change that much in the cab. What changes is whether you can go outside and get some relief from the heat. Because our railway, being a heritage railway, isn't very fast, and we're allowed to ride on the footboard on the outside. So in summer you sort of come in, do your shoveling, and get out again. Whereas in winter you might stay in there. That's the difference. That 10-degree difference does make a lot of difference, I suppose, but let's party on, dude. Gav's Photography said all the Karens will ring up and complain. Someone should do something about this temperature. It's very hot. My bees are melting. That's a proper Manchester bee, that one. Genuine Manchester bee. It's probably made in China, but apparently it's a genuine Manchester bee. They look quite white in this weird lighting that you get from Todd Ford, don't they? It's quite a strange effect. That Pendolino must have passed us in the tunnel. I didn't see it. Chocky says, I'm good, but I have my fan up on full blast. Yeah, it's one thing about the UK is as global warming comes in, you may need to get used to buying air conditioners. There's rather a large one right behind me. So to cope with the combination of the Australian summer and the Australian winter, I have an 8 kilowatt reverse cycle machine right behind me. And there's 3 of those in the house. Was that what I thought it was? He's a whale fan. In Australia, we'd call him a gunzel. They're still white, aren't they? Isn't that weird? Gratuitous bridge shot coming up. What? Stuck. There we go. Florian says tomorrow is a public holiday and a Friday off, so a nice long weekend driving intermodals around the UK coming up. Why not? Wish I had the day off, but I'll be in training tomorrow. It's diversity, mindfulness and leadership tomorrow. And on Friday I've got admin training for a new tool. Florian says also try Subway Sim 2. It has Hamburg's U3 line, which is one you've ridden quite a lot. Let me know what you think and how realistic it is. I have bought it. I've already rage quit once because I went too far in a station and Nebworthed it a bit and discovered that I couldn't make it go backwards. So I rage quit. As you do. That 350 couldn't be a stopper, or we'd be up its bum by now. Chucky Transport says the white is unusual. White equals the Creators Club review didn't delete. Ah, very good, Spad Tactics. I didn't think I saved it though. You're clearly smarter than I am. And G. Dave as well. Yes, definitely both of you are smarter than I am. I should have made them pink, then I would have noticed. Oh well. That's okay. I enjoy being a professional idiot. It's all good. It's all about being human. Let's marvel at the white carriages. Thanks, Florian. That'd be cool. I intend to get back into it. So I was going to spend some time with Subway Sim 2 tomorrow night, but and I'm going to stream it on Sunday, so I've got to learn it. I was going to do it, get some playtime in tomorrow night, but I'm not going to because the good lady did manage to get herself a new job. She was in a job at the same place where I work, which had an end date on it. And we've been steaming along towards the end date, and she'd been trying hard to get another role, and came out second best a few times, which has been a little bit disheartening. And today finally got some good news. You're in. So that's outstanding, because that means that she's got employment after that end date. And it's a significantly more interesting role than the one she's currently in, which is great. And she's very happy. G. Dave says, how to please DTG, a Class 66 hauling pink wagons. It's more like pleasing Matt. Matt doesn't actually have that much to do with Transit World anymore. I don't think I've let anything out of the bag saying that. He's involved in tons of stuff. Do you think I should get back into Creators Club and just write the word "you're an idiot" on the side of those? Spad Tactics, oh, can just say a non-cargo line thing for a minute. Tried Kensingtalbahn properly and absolutely loved the German stuff so far. That's good. And you made me say Kensingtalbahn, which is not easy. Not going to do anything about that yellow signal until I actually see it, because while the track monitor's nice, I want to actually get my visuals on the signals myself. Chocky says Matt and Harry. Harry's one of the community managers, and you can always tell when she's written the script for the roadmap or the article, because it's always a little bit funny. Alex puts jokes in, but Alex's jokes are just out there. It's a bake-a-poo. Do you think London the Musical would play in New York? Ooh, another one. And it's got my livery as well. What's going on there? Is everything running on my livery now? Oh, look, I'm being naughty again. Better do something about it. Benjamin's brain in a jar says, I love Harry, platonically speaking, of course. Ah, she's cool. Anybody that can sit on a stream with a pair of goat horns on, it's just impressive in my book. 3 trains at once. Yeah, I think I better get back in the cab. I can now see that one, so let's give it a little bit more braking action. Don't want to go crazy though, it's only the double yellow. Spad Tactics says, my apologies, LZB is giving me a little grief, but I think I got the issue figured out. All they need now is someone named Sally on the community team. And they can have Harry Met Sally. We got there just in time for it to go. What do you think? You like cargo trains? Your hat's on backwards. Really? I think that one likes cargo trains. No, coming back. Had enough of it. Florian says, yeah, she's cool. Love her photo mode streams when she panics about driving but ends up doing relatively well. Ah, she's fine at it. Probably pays more attention than I do. Tam Walker says, I don't think that matters how much Matt is doing on TSW. You know, whatever he's doing, the passion he has for trains and how well he wants things to be is something I get behind. Yeah, but having actually talked to him in person, he's a very cool dude. And yeah, it's very interesting to talk to. He does know an amazing amount of stuff. The things that are in that guy's head. And he can find them again. That's what I like about Adam's scenarios. There's stuff everywhere. Holy Trucker says, I'm waiting for a rainy day to buy this DLC. I have container freight already. Ah, but you need more container freight, Holy Trucker. What are you going to put on your trucks if there aren't trains bringing containers to the ports? Oops. It's paying attention time. I can't see that signal yet, though. How many tons was this train? Yeah, having another timetable for the routes are cool. Especially East Coast Main Line. That one was a little bit quiet. It's funny, isn't it? I see a red signal coming and I have an urge to go and check and see if what's happening on the Discord. Brain. There's one in there somewhere. Tam Walker says I'll be getting this DLC once the military one comes out and then have two at the same time. Were you here before when we saw the thing? I'll have a look at the layers on this route in just a moment and you'll see what I mean when we finish this one. Has that gone green? It has gone green. Oh, let's just go down onto the platform before I rev this thing up. There we go. How did I get outside? Seriously. I think I went through the wall. Alright, let's rev it up. It's not as loud as you want it to be, really, is it? Also can't go too hard because we've got at least 15s coming up. 350. Do you not think I've driven those things only on the stream where I streamed this route the first time? I don't think I've actually driven one since. Isn't that weird? Never had the urge. Holy Trucker says, I play with VR with UAV Ever, and this route absolutely dies at the London Euston already, FPS killer. Well, it depends on your hardware, I guess. More white ones. So my livery is now on every single carriage. Everywhere. Ah, it's mental. Well, I think I'll report that. I don't think that's right. It shouldn't be. It should only be on random ones. Although I'll make a video of it before they fix it, because, you know... I think a whole railway of pink carriages is just going to be funny. Holy Trucker says, thanks for your rail driver vid. I now drive in VR with my HOTA stroke throttle controller. That's good. You're getting away from the Xbox controllers. I see some TEAs up there from Cargo Line 1. Fantastic says Cargo Line 5 confirmation. Holy Trucker says they have adjusted the ride height of the Class 66 on Skyhook's vid. I think they have. It looks a little higher. And I don't think it sinks into the tracks anymore. So yeah, it rides on top of the tracks now. It looks pretty good. The 66s, most of them sink into the tracks. I'm going to delete that livery when we finish this. Is this it for this one? Yeah, it is. We'll get rid of that white livery. Spat Tactics says, and potentially a Cargo Line 4 route confirmation. Not going there. Andy Burbridge says, just finish off in East Coast mainline timetable with all local services added in, so Doncaster and Peterborough should seem a lot busier. That'll be cool. I imagine you'll be putting that out as a mod, Andy? I hope. Once you get it up and running, let me know. Jump on the Discord and we can work out a way to stream it. If you want to be a talking head on the stream, we can make that happen. Gaz Photography says Matt's brain is full of knowledge and a passenger ship full of filing cabinets. Yeah, pretty much. Holy Trucker says, who is the crybaby YouTuber that was crying while he was making his Cole Arkin video? I've never heard of him before today. He turned up in my feed. I've never seen his channel before either, but I had to look around some of the usual crybaby moaners, and they were doing crybaby moaner things, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to make a funny video. So I did. The things you do before work, huh? I would do 10 miles an hour, but, you know, we're going 1.7 miles, and this isn't an American railway, so I don't want to do it at 10 mile an hour, but I'll do it at 15. We're allowed to do 20 in a moment anyway. Sudbury Junction. Plano 9 said, been waiting 5 months for BPB's fix on PS4 now. I live in hope. Did it get anything in the patch? Hopefully it'll come. I don't think Gen 8 stuff is exactly high on the priority list anymore, but I would hope that bugs would get fixed. I know they are concerned about the performance of Gen 8 as a general player thing, and I know there is some work going on with that, but hopefully. Grumpy Englishman, we know exactly how much this will be. Stand by for a paste bid. There you go. Prices are in the chat. £9.99, €11.99, $14.99. Now, are we going down to the left, or are we going to go down the steep hill? Inquiring minds need to know. There's another set of cars with my livery on it. What is that? I know technically random could pick mine every single time, but it's a little bit surprising. Never been down this track. How far does it go? Oh yeah. Sort of a bypass of the yards. And we're going down into the other one. Very cool. Andy says, I will once I find out how to cook it. There are some videos on how to do that. I have no clue. I keep having this thing in my mind that says, learn the editor, build scenarios, because I know it would be fun. And I used to whinge about not having the capability to do it because there's no editor. And now there's an editor, I haven't got an excuse. We just haven't done it. But I should. Holy Trucker says TSW5 stressed him out and he was crying about Thomas being in the game enough to walk away from TSW5 and YouTube. Yes. He got upset because he realised that this thing that he runs off Steam, you know, the place where all the games are, is in fact a game. More white container carriers. Benjamin says, I'm a tightwad, so I'll be waiting for the meager Game Pass discount. That's fair. Why pay more if you don't need to? Spadtastic says, how many Aussie fun bucks? £9. I'd be going about 21, 22 probably. The Australian dollar is not very happy at the moment compared to the UK pound. It's quite good against the US dollar because, you know, no one wants them. Chocky says, maybe it's not your livery because the default value for deliveries can spawn is 5. Trucky Transport said, I'd love to do it, but no matter what I did, it would never let me simulate it, or it would half do it. Oh, I don't think I'd ever try and build a timetable. That's some clever stuff. I'm quite happy to admit that's beyond what I would care to do. Sure, I could learn it, but I don't really want to. But what I would do is do something for scenarios. I think that would be fun. Don't be mean to him, Holy Trucker. I get the impression he's not all that stable. Yeah, I know, I was mean to him. I didn't mention him, though. I didn't say who it was. But he's not the only one, either. And I'm tipping he's paying for promotion, because I asked a few friends of mine, did he turn up in your recommendations this morning? And a lot of them said yes, so I'm tipping he's actually paying to push his videos. Which is something you can do on YouTube. For about 300 Australian dollars, they will push a video out to 100,000 people. And they'll push it for 5 days. Chocky says, I meant a scenario. I got far making one, but he would never let me get it anywhere. That's sad. Holy Trucker wanted to know if he was meant to be upset too. That sounds like a Bakerloo. Where is it? There it is. Heading down into the grassy knoll. Unlike Lincoln, it came out the other side. Another 66. Ironically, in the time where I'm allowed to do 15 mile an hour, I am now doing less than 10. Wouldn't it be cool if this thing over here would actually pick up and load and unload containers? Even cooler if it was on the tracks it's supposed to be on. I'll go back over here. Ah, it's an ad for Cargo Line aggregates. There was another train over there. It's gone now. Grumpy says, I saw a video yesterday, upload from him too, so he's back, or this happened during the last 24 hours. It's 24 hours. Maverick says, I'm back. The stream thumbnail is not loading properly for me. It's just grey. That's weird. It's definitely got one. Holy Truckers, to be honest, I was worried that I thought the update may have broken the game, so I watched it expecting the worst, but found someone worse than Trainspotter from Taranga. Yep. Yep. Flano says we need more working yards, gives way more gameplay. Oh, I agree with that completely. I would love to be able to set any track anywhere and use any path to anywhere. I did have a conversation ages ago with Matt. He said, what would you like to be able to do with Scenario Planner? I said, take trains from anywhere and put them anywhere. Those were my requirements. Spantactic says, I just saw the thumbnail and now I remember that video. I was confused as heck. So when we finish this, we'll have a look at the thing that captured people's attention for a moment, including mine. There is no way you could get a train into a siding next to us and not hit the wall. I think that track needs slewing over a little. It's the way it works, gang. Maverick says, I'm really interested in Volume 4 military. That looks interesting. Not so much Volumes 1 to 3. I actually think they're okay, 1 to 3. I quite like the variety they bring to the routes they're on. Even though I myself don't play that many freight runs. I like seeing them. Spad Tactics says no one is even angry about this one. Surprisingly, it usually doesn't take much. Yeah, look, I think DTG have probably got it right, that pushing it out to one platform to see how it goes, while the others are going through their QA and certification. I don't see anything wrong with it. And I guess they wanted to see how the community reacted too, because you could ask people about that all you wanted, but you wouldn't actually get a proper answer until you did it. I have never been over here. I'm not even sure I've ever stopped at that station. What is it? Blurry. Williston Junction. Oh, it's the one from London Overground, isn't it? I suppose I should stop too. Soon. We're going pretty slowly. Should be alright. Wonder if we can stop on the independent brake. Wouldn't that be funny? It's trying to. We have now fully locked up our independent brake. I don't think you can do it. We better do it properly. Come on, more brakes. Good progress, driver. You need to wait here until our path along the North London becomes available, but we're not getting to go on there. Because, you know, we don't get to go on that line. But that's the other end of the overground. And we got a glod. But anyway, let's go and look at the layers first. So if I go into the timetable again. I've stopped on top of that. Maverick says, please let there be Tadami line news in the May roadmap. Chocky says, someone made mods for that, but you can only play the scenario if you have said mod installed. Yes. So if I go back to the timetable, this was the thing that captured people's attention when I scrolled down. So Tam, are you ready? Right, enough of that. Let's go and get rid of that livery because it looks silly. No, wrong, one more menu. Too many menus. Livery designer. My liveries. Do want to make another one. I want my liveries. One livery available. That one. Delete. Right, we shouldn't see those anymore. Good. To the trains. I think we'll go back to West Coast Main Line again. I was never here. I did not scroll down that. Holy Trucker says, looks like the video was taken down. Ah, so he's paid money to promote it and then taken it down. Okay. So, TB Intermodal again. Let's run... Which one are we going to run? Felixstowe North Trafford Park. I think we should go out of London this time, don't you? Oh, that's a short one. 6 minutes. Oh, it's a light engine. London Gateway to Trafford Park. What time is it? It is 8:43. Yeah, I want to run one that's a little bit shorter than that. Maybe there isn't one, though. I do definitely want to run an FCA at least. Where's that one going? That's in. Oh no, that's out. Wembley sidings to Milton Keynes Yard. We'll do that one. And we'll be brave and leave dynamic weather on. Spad Tactics says, called it. Maverick says, Melbourne train guy pointed out one of my streams that the DRS Class 20 hauls nuclear cargo. They have dropped a blue thing with a handle on it. Milton Keynes Central Platform 3. Better load her up. And we'll leave the independent on and let's release the train brake. Come on. No, that way. I'm doing it the wrong way. Tweet. Lights. Windows. How long is the train? The train is 543.7, so we'll go 535. 535. Enter. Brakes are cut in. Good. And we're allowed to go by the looks of it. Brakes are still charging though, so there's no point trying to take off at the moment. With the gauge up that high, it means it's still pumping the train pipe rather hard. Ah, that's better. We have red containers again, or red container carriages. Had me worried for a minute there. Let's have a look at the detail on the carriages, I suppose. We'll wait for the train brake to come up. Super heavy! 2.9 meters or 9 foot 6 inches high. Its number is 0000000. I wonder if they're supposed to be individually numbered. You know my independent brake's on. Why are you rolling away, train? But, yeah. Alright, let's get out of here. And since this is a service, I should probably put on... I'm not going to bother with the alerter. It's too annoying. So it looks like the container numbering doesn't work. I am sure I saw that working a while back. Huh. That's sad. Now, let me take a shot of one of those. New. And I'll just pop that into the feedback thread that we've got going. Why can't I? Copy, copy, copy. Where did I actually paste that, I wonder? See you later, Florian. It'll last long enough to run this service, but it is fast approaching bedtime and I was up late last night, so don't want to do that too many days in a row. Maverick said we're getting to Sped Tactics. Maverick, yep, I did. Now you're excited. Holy Trucker said a lot of the comments on his vid were people schooling him. They said the 12th of May released 4 consoles. Surely it'll be the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you. Tam Walker says, I'm not surprised it's nuclear fast coming, though I thought after military I would be. That's cool. Sped Tactics says there are also FKA layers on East Coast Main Line that could be Cargo Line military. Grumpy says, why Florian? Or Chow, more spectacularly. Spad Tactics says, I'm going to hit the old Dusty Trail as well. Thanks for the stream, TSD. Generally excited by it. That is cool. We learned some interesting stuff today, didn't we? Not intentionally. So you come back to the cab and see a red signal and go, uh-oh. No, it's all right. It's not mine. It's fine. It's all good. Did I put my length in? Don't remember. I think from memory it is the same cost, Holy Trucker. So the actual costs, to go back to the article again, just copy them again. I cannot figure out where I pasted that picture. Oh, that's where I pasted it. In the wrong thing. Right. Copy. Put it in here. Holy Trucker says $20 New Zealand for me. I think we should just listen to the 66 for a little while, don't you? Let's get right in there. There we go. Nice little whine of the traction motors along with the diesel. Geez, when you're watching the spinning hubs, you really see the momentary hitches in the game, don't you? It's like... One day... Probably should have asked Cargo Line 3 yay or nay, but you know what I mean. We'll just have to accept I'm not clever and don't always think things through too well. I'm not actually testing anything at the moment. I've taken a beta break. Because I've got so much else going on at the moment, I just haven't got the time to invest in it. Grumpy says, are you going to do a review of the new Subway game? I'm going to stream it on Sunday so you can see it for yourself. And I've done a bit of a quick play and figured out I couldn't make the train go backwards, so I rage quit because I ran through a station. Of course. You know, me. You actually have to change cabs and walk up the other end to go backwards. It's like a tram. Holy Trucker says it's only 40 minutes of gameplay. I think we'll get bored quickly. 40 minutes of the new Subway Sim? Nah. It's more than that. And Cargo Line's a lot more than 40 minutes. There's probably a good 30, 40 hours on each route. I've done a couple of passenger services as well, just to make sure that Cargo Line things are visible. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Missed me. Just to make sure Cargo Line trains are visible when you're running as a passenger, and they are. They seem to turn up fairly frequently. More frequently than you'd expect. Yeah, good. I have more. I thought I was running out. I was thinking 36 miles to Milton Keynes and I have no water in my water bottle. But I had my backup water bottle. Plano says, hey TSD or chat, what do you think of Train Planet? Do you think it'll be any good in the future? I think it has been mostly abandoned. Let me just check and make sure we're talking about the same game. Because I do actually have it. I thought I did. Maybe I don't. I'm searching. Hope my train doesn't clash. If I get a red signal, call out, will you? But it'll be too late by then. Train Planet, which is in fact free. Yeah. I actually don't have it. There you go. Train Planet demo coming soon to early access. Yeah. Well, I'll grab the demo. Why not? I won't download it now though. Bad things might happen. I thought I had this actually. I thought I'd played it. Maybe I chucked it out of my library. But anyway, it doesn't seem to have had any discussions for a little while. So hopefully it'll appear. Oh, I just saw City Transport Simulators had an update. I'll have to do an article for that, won't I? Holy Trucker says thing has been abandoned. Jockey says this is why Skyhook, my favourite developer, they don't just forget about the older routes. Yeah, they like adding stuff to the to all of them, really. Jockey says gonna eat some lunch. See you later. Enjoy your lunch, mate. Tam Walker says the reason I thought it would be nuclear is it's a very unique load for the UK railways and it will sell. And I know it's a game, but driving with that behind you will be fun one day when it comes out. You know what I'm going to do with it? I'm going to park the thing on the track somewhere and I'm going to hit it with a class, it's a 46, isn't it? At 110 mile an hour and see what happens. Because, you know, they did that for real. I think it needs to be done. Grumpy says I did try it, it was trash. That's sad. Does anybody know what this thing actually is in real life? Like, is it power supply? I'm guessing it might be, but the wires must be underground. I found it on Googly Maps, but it wasn't any more obvious, because their shot of it wasn't very good. Look at that, folks. There's all your shit from Temu. And those empty carriages? That's from reputable British manufacturers, that is. One of our cats just walked up the staircase that I face on my desk, stuck its head through the banisters and went... and then ran up the stairs and so... What did I do? Don't push buttons, mouse. So just recapping what you get with this thing, there are new timetables for West Coast Mainline South and East Coast Mainline. There are new journey chapters for each of those routes, intermodal. There are 3 scenarios for each route. The scenarios are standard Skyhook style. They're not pushy. They aren't forcing you to do stuff. There is a load of new timetable services, and there's the new twin spine FCA cars and mixed containers. And as we go trundling up the route, where are we now? Still near the bottom, of course. And if you weren't here at the start and you've got a rail driver, like that funny little thing down on my left there, I'll just cover this thing again too, because it's well worth a discussion. This is the rail driver and joystick mod. It's built by Cobra One, the same, or it's actually, the game's actually Cobra, but it's the same guy that built it for Train Sim Classic, and he's made it for Train Sim World. You can control what the buttons do, you can control what the levers do, you can map them to different trains if you want to. I've just got them set up as generic throttle and brake, and that seems to work fine for me. But there's actually detailed mappings for every single train that does cool things. Proper headlights. Yay! Rolling towards Milton Keynes inside a ridiculously long tunnel. Tab Walker says, I've seen that video, the Class 45 you're thinking of, it's not in the game. Well, we might just have to whack it with a 47 then. Isn't there a 45 in WSR? It's not labelled 45, it's labelled D47 something or 4 whatever something or other. Hello Cab Peppy, how are you? We've gotten into the Temu transport business. You can tell it's from Temu because there's no brands on the containers. Hey, I wonder if the service number's working when we're in a service, because it wasn't in the scenario, was it? Let's have a look. No, they're still all zero, sadly. That's boring. All zeros. So that's it, supposed to be a unique number for every container. And I'm sure at one point it was. Hey, Leon Parson. Hello. Hello, Drummy. How are you? Lots of people coming in all at once. That probably means someone else stopped streaming the same stuff. Tam Walker says, is in the game, it's the 45. It's from Trans-Pennine Express. I was pretty sure we had a 45. And I think there's a pretty one on WSR, a green one. You had a good day. That's good, Leon. Pleased you had a good day. My day was pretty decent too. I had to give some somewhat challenging feedback to someone, but they took it all right. It's part of my job I'm never that happy about doing, but You have to. Tree Sim World Filtered View. Fluky, hello. I'm good, Drummy. Hopefully you are good. Fluky, was there anything new with this for Midland Mainline? It was only East Coast Mainline, West Coast Mainline for now. I don't think there's anything for Midland Mainline. I don't remember seeing anything, but I would be very happy to pop over there at the end of this service and have a look for you. I think it's only East Coast Mainline and West Coast Mainline, but we can certainly look. Leon said I had a good day at high school. That's very important, Leon. Having a good day at high school is very, very important, because I'm not that old that I don't actually remember just how shitty high school can be. So, yes. Glad you had a good day. That probably means I need to slow down, and that means I haven't. Tam Walker says it's a 47 in WSR under the different numbering. Yeah, it's under the D numbering, isn't it? Holy Trucker says, I remember getting at high school. Leon says, I need to learn at school. That is generally what school's for, yes. You learn a lot more than you think you learn at high school. What you tend to learn at high school is how to be a human. That's probably the most important thing you learn there. I don't think you're dumb, Leon. And I braked a tad too heavily for the 60 zone. "23 miles to Milton Keynes." There's still bits of this route that are a bit bland, aren't they, off on the right-hand side there. The left-hand side's really nice. Right-hand side, not so much. Confirmed from a railway technician, by the way, that these are junction lights. And they are used to make servicing the junction at night easier. So they don't have to worry about setting up lights or anything. They just go straight there, get to work, get it done, get out. Which is smart. Like the grass and stuff there. Don't like the patterns that show up when you're in the right angles. See those straight lines? Not a fan of that. That's where I get turn around and I get clocked in the head with a 350. Leon loves school, but not holidays. Oh, holidays are good too, mate. Everybody needs to relax. I see a rail fan spot. Uh-oh, default textures. Bugger. So they're deliberately like that so you can spot them? I think they should be bright yellow or something so you see them all the time. Hello, Chucky, you're back. How was lunch? We're still heading towards Milton Keynes. We've done about 8 miles since you went away to eat your lunch. I must still have that signal mod installed. I should probably take that off when I'm streaming. It's the London Midland signal mod. Makes them brighter. Holy Trucker says, can't wait for the company mod for this DLC to release. As in branded containers. That would be nice. There's probably someone already making them. I will be riding a JR bullet train in not too distant future. They're quite impressive, you know. They pull out of the platform and by about, I don't know, 3-4 kilometres, they're already doing 240 kilometres an hour and you just don't feel it at all. So smooth. Oh, punched up in the air. Ruined my good shot. I don't know if you're watching the stickers on the top right hand corner of the containers, but they disappear as the containers go into the distance. Train Canyon indeed. I saw that Boring Chasms actually had an update. Cane Creek to the uninitiated. I've always called it Boring Chasm. Hey, I'm heading off to Tokyo in July for probably a couple of weeks is all I can afford because I want to go to the UK as well. For the ambassador event, assuming it's happening this year, it looks like it's positively is, but we still haven't got dates, unfortunately. Someone's turned on the fog machine. Leon says JR train had colours and a name on the bullet. They've actually got a lot of different coloured trains, JR. Fluky says intermodals will be added to the 2019 West Coast Mainline TT mod according to those creators. Hopefully the other 2024 TT mods get these added. The TS community timetables are very good and a must for PC users. There is some good stuff available, Fluky, I agree. I do run mods. I don't generally have them when I'm streaming particularly new stuff, but I certainly do have them. So if you're not into them, Train Sim Community is one of the most reliable places to get them from, which is this one. Let's pop that in the chat. The other place that has some is Nexus, and I think there's a Train Sim World category on Nexus. Just try and find out, and I'll paste it in the chat if I find it. They've got tons for every other game. Games. What games can I search? Train. Simulation. There's not much on Nexus at all, actually. No, so stick with Train Sim Community. As goes our Cargo Line aggregates. The graffiti on those is actually random, I found out the other day. It's something I didn't know. Since we're going downhill, keep it in notch 1, keep it stretched out. Fog's getting quite dense. Leon says he watches Netflix movies of the 2025 bullet train explosions in Japan. I don't think they were real. Fluky says, I'm new to train simming in general, more a flight simulator, but getting into TSW, I admit to myself the mods have made my experience better. Yeah, they can add quite a lot to the game. Some of them aren't so good, some of them can make it a bit unstable, so I do see people occasionally saying things like, there's a guy on my Discord, for example, he goes, it's really unstable, I can't play it anymore. I don't understand why, I've got 108 mods, and I think that's probably why. Because you've got 108 mods. I'm going to leave this in notch 1 and put a small brake application on. I'm leaving it in notch 1 just to keep the train stretched as much as I can. I'd love to be able to bail off, but this locomotive doesn't have it. There we go, let's release that now. 350 emerges from the fog, a little short one. This will be the last run this evening, so when we get down to Milton Keynes, I will call it quits for today, because it is getting a bit late and I have to feed cats and find my stuff for tomorrow and all that sort of thing, because very sadly it's an office day. Everyone loves an office day. Only a movie. Good, Leon. I think the bullet trains have a fairly good safety record. Ooh. Gratuitous bridge shots. Gav says, and you have to find your other head. Well, that's true. I think I know where that one went. I think she's upstairs. Yeah, I'll take her out to dinner tomorrow night to celebrate the new job. I thought about doing it tonight, and then I thought about the limited time between finishing work, getting to the pub, and getting back here to do this. And I had to buy some cat food as well. Oh, 5%. Gone. "13 miles to go in this wondrous extravaganza." Oi! Yeah, she just went splat all over the front of the engine. Notice the standard train driver's reaction. Not even put the brakes on. Uberk says, good afternoon or evening. It is evening here. Probably a no in the vote from me, but I am late to the stream. It's been not really well thought through vote. That's alright. It's not a drama. Basically, it's a train full of boxes of different colours. Leon Parsons says, I was find on Google a ECML train livery of Adelaide Metro Jumbo train. That wouldn't surprise me. One of the things I always thought wasn't real in this game was when you left a city and you just went into the countryside all of a sudden. But then I went to the UK and I discovered it's really like this. The cities are very dense, but there's an awful lot of area that no one lives in. Got the hiccups. Maybe I should pay attention. Looks like we really do have some yellow signals coming up. Your game went boom, Leon. And we do indeed have a yellow signal. Benjamin says, who are you calling dense? Only me. Fluky says, it's funny here in Sydney, a 40 to 50 minute train ride just staying within the metro area. It's the same in Melbourne. And 30, 40 minutes in the UK, it's in the countryside. Sometimes 10 minutes. Is it a double yellow or a single? I think it's a double. So we'll keep rolling at 50 mile an hour then. Should be alright. Maybe. I'm guessing that we've caught up with something. Let's have a look. Don't see anything in the station. No. Don't know why we've got yellows. Oh no, there's a red. There's probably something here. Nope. No, I don't know what it is. Me busy. This is busy being me. Ow. Claws. No claws. Stop it. Me busy. Maybe something crossed this track. Because we are allowed to go up in speed again, so we shall. She's mad at me now because I dared to pick her up. Thomas and Friends is in Train Sim World, Leon. I think you know that. Eight miles to Milton the Monster. That's what we need. Thomas the Tank Engine pulling an intermodal. I'm sure we could make that happen. So we've probably got about 7 to 9 minutes to finish this up, depending on how slow it gets towards the end of the route. And then I'll go and feed Busy, who's now back on her cushion, cleaning everywhere where she touched me. That's what we need. Cargo Line Volume 6. Sheep. Oh, hang on. They're just passengers, aren't they? Wonder if somebody make a mod to replace passengers with the cows from Mittenweld Barn. That would be very funny. Mod makers, take your challenge. We really are running behind something, aren't we? Something slower than us. Good to see all the concrete sprouting grass down there. Oh, it's out in front of us still. Cat's down there. Behind me. Alright, let's try the train canyon shot again. Will we get it this time? No. There we go. Hopefully the electric train doesn't hit me. Yay, it worked. That's the GoPro I forgot to bring a mount shot. Four miles out of Milton Keynes and we are speeding. I'm happy if I keep coming across double yellows. But given that we're coming into Milton Keynes, I probably should start to slow down at least a little bit. Cat Peppy says I got interrupted. I was going to say I'm fairly well, despite some discs struggling after a rib injury. Well, that's awful. At least I'm able to sit by a computer. Tried the new Subway Sim 2 for Xbox. Not too bad. That's good. I've got it, and I've played for 5 minutes, and haven't had time to go back to it yet. I kind of think it's Unreal 5. We're being outrun by a Pendolino. There's a surprise. Leon says, cow on a train coach. That's exactly what that mod would do. Create cow people. Forgot I had gummy bears. Still on the double yellow. As we roll into Milton Keynes with our train full of boxes of stuff from Temu. This video is not sponsored by Temu. Just thought I'd say that in case someone from YouTube is watching. That sounds like product placement. Cab says, yes, Subway Sim is on UE5. Yeah, I kind of thought it was. I know that the CTS tram is as well. I kind of think the bus might be. Cad Pepe says Unreal Engine is graphics enough to feel immersion. That's good. As we roll towards our red signal that hopefully will change soon because there's a train sitting in Milton Keynes in front of us, no doubt. Hugh Burke says, ouch, Cad Pepe, I cracked my eyebrow at work. 6 stitches. Ooh. Last Friday, removing stitches tomorrow. No concussion though. Something in the roof swung down and hit me. Ooh. That's not good. I whack my head on the train often enough because being a narrow gauge engine is not made for people my height, and the door is here. So I think I'm lucky that I only whacked my forehead on it. Snap those couplers off. 1 mile to go. Milton Keynes coming up soon. But I think we're actually going through Milton Keynes. Or are we stopping? It's like we're stopping, actually. What's wrong with Team Moo? What about Team Octopus? There you are. Glad you two are getting better though. Hurting yourself kind of sucks. Like that, and drill a hole in my finger. Clever. Sitting at work and there goes, anybody got a safety moment? And I went, yeah, don't drill holes in your finger. Seemed fair at the time. Milton Keynes and a straight in run. No track changes. And unlike the Pendo, we're going in a bit slower. Somebody might make Australian routes one day, Leon. There's Australian routes for OMSI. There's a Sydney route for it. It's a fairly good one. It's not quite street accurate, but it's decent. Burke says, I feel bad for my colleague who had to take over a blood-stained train cab, but he was great about it. I think people are pretty understanding when things like that happen. Glad I make you happy, Leon. Holy Trucker says you have to try the bus in UE VR mod. The buses do the actual Berlin tourist runs, and I feel like I've been to Germany after seeing the sights in VR and being there. I will give that a try. And Newberg says, indeed, I would be too. I suspect you got the worst of the deal, Cab Peppy, if you've got ribs. Ribs and discs are bad things. Can't put plaster on them. You just have to wait. Well, we have now arrived at Milton Keynes. That will be the... Actually, we'll have a look at Midland Mainline. I don't think there's any new traffic on it, but let's have a quick look and see if the FCAs sub in, because they might, and then we will knock it off for the evening. Sounds like a familiar noise pulling in next to us. Yep, we've gone past the stop point. More brakes. That'll do. Now, I'm just curious if they sub in for anything, since we were asked. Wait for a moment. Dun dun dun. The FCAs are the new wagons here. As the AI takes over and throws me out. Okay. Let's go back. If you're wondering why I'm only getting golds, I didn't turn on the alerter. So I can't get those extra points. Let's just have a really quick look at MML and see. To the trains, choose a route. Midland Mainline. I don't think so. I'm not expecting anything. I think it'll just sub in. So aggregates, petrol, aggregates, petrol, aggregates, petrol. It wouldn't surprise me if they have done something clever and it subs in for some of these, but there's no deliberate services in there. Well, there we go. Okay. All right, folks, have fun. There you go, Leon. Look, Thomas and friends. Anyway, enjoy yourselves, and we will have some fun on this Sunday. I plan to stream the Subway Sim 2 Berlin to have a look at that and see what that's like. Hopefully I get some time in the game beforehand, because I always feel like a bit of a donkey if I have no idea about a game before I play it in front of people. So we shall see how we go. All right, folks, enjoy yourselves. I very much appreciate those of you who have been watching and joining in and chatting. It's always great to have some active chat going on. It makes the stream more interesting for all of us, really. And yeah, have fun, folks, and we shall see you on the next one. So enjoy. Bye now. See ya. There's another cat for you, Leon. And another one. Bye. Oh, wrong button. I'm going to press that button. This one.